We've been talking about how this bombing today, these bombings may change the way our area holds public events, and as it happens, there's a marathon in our area 2 weeks from this Sunday.
Yeah, the Long Island Marathon, and crews are reassessing security after today. Long Island reporter Josh Einiger is in East Meadow with that story. Josh.
Yeah, Liz and Bill, it'll be here at Eisenhower Park in 2 weeks, and they are reassessing security. I'll get to that in a second, but first, there were dozens of Long Islanders running Boston today. One of them was a woman named Dolores Doman. I spoke with her about an hour ago. She's from Dix Hill. She had actually just crossed the finish line, entered the medical tent for treatment for leg cramps. She says she was only about 100 meters away when terror struck.
It was just you felt the explosion. You can see, we felt it. It was really, really loud, and it just sounded like an explosion. It was like, oh my goodness. People were holding their heads, and they were in the gurneys, and man had his leg. It was terrible, and they were announcing that we're bringing in people that had somebody had their legs blown off, and it was just awful.
They actually locked down the medical tent, she said, so she couldn't leave even if she wanted to, and she sat there and watched as they brought in the wounded to be treated and triaged in that tent. Meanwhile, back here at home, the management of the Greater Long Island Running Association, of whom Dolores is a member, were frantically searching for information about the 50 or 60 members who were up in Boston, people desperate for answers.
Who attacks a road race? Who goes after a bunch of people running through the streets?
As pressing as that question might be, this afternoon Mike Polanski found himself with an even more urgent need for information. What had happened to 50 to 60 members of the Greater Long Island Running Club running the Boston Marathon at the time of the blast? The panic on Boylston Street felt right here on Long Island.
They're going absolutely out of their minds. People are calling. People are trying to find people. We were trying to track people down.
They spent the whole day on Facebook and navigating overburdened cell systems, but to their relief found all of their members had survived, though some were perilously close to the blasts. And now, as investigators in Boston try to determine who did this and why.
To have this hanging over your head, this cloud, is very concerning.
The Nassau County Executive has promised a new look at security for the RXR Long Island Marathon, just 3 weeks away here in Eisenhower Park, where preparations are already underway. Last year's event drew thousands. This year they expect even more. As a response to today's carnage, organizers have already planned a special meeting Wednesday to take a new look at security.
We're going to look at all the buildings that are surrounding the route. We're going to deploy our equipment, from bomb sniffing equipment to early detection equipment.
I'm worried about copycats. Some nut says, hey, that looked like a good idea. Maybe I'll do it here in Long Island.
Now, this particular marathon has never been a terribly high security event. There's been security, to be sure, but they've never, for example, been checking people's bags at the finish line. The county executive told me that is certain to change. A full meeting on reassessing the security here set for this coming Wednesday. We're live at Eisenhower Park in East Meadow, Long Island. Josh Einiger, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Josh, thank